people. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the pregame cheat sheet. I am Darren Smith, along with the great Steve Walsh.
The great.
You don't hear that too often, so. But we'd like to welcome you to our pregame show, where the Kansas City Chiefs will be hosting the New Orleans Saints on a Monday night football game, which you'll be able to watch it on ESPN and here locally in the Kansas City markets on ABC. Steve, first and foremost, your initial thoughts on tonight's matchup.
Well, my initial thoughts is when I walked in, they decided to serve us some Cajun food, some gumbo, and some catfish. But
something that resembled.
Yeah, I don't know, didn't go over too well, but I digress. Anyway, I'm feeling good other than that, man.
I am. You funny. All of you all heard the conversation before we were on the air, but anyway. Kansas City Chiefs are looking for their 5th win in a row this season, their 11th overall, stemming back from last season. The New Orleans Saints are coming to tonight's game 2-2, winning their first 2 games, dropping their last 2 as well. So I was on a New Orleans radio network hit before our show, and they were asking me, what type of challenges do the Saints pose for the Chiefs tonight? And I said one of the things that they've shown is that they can put up points, and they can put up points quickly. Mm-hmm. Now, it was early in the season, of course, against against Carolina, and of course, your Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. But that is going to be a challenge. Kansas City and their defense, they've known to be able to for teams to come in and score right away. Now, the defense for the Chiefs have been able to make the adjustments, so to speak. But if New Orleans does come in and score right away, it puts, as I told the station, it puts more pressure on Patrick and the offense to make sure that if it's going to be a shootout, that they can go, blow for blow, body by body against this New Orleans team.
I think the problem with New Orleans is, Alvin Kamara. He does some things similar to Christian McCaffrey. He's that dual threat where you can line him up in the backfield, or you can, line him up as wide receiver. So he's kind of that Swiss Army knife for this team. And then, of course, you have Chris Olave, who's a young wide receiver who is able to do some things. But the main thing I feel like the Chiefs have the advantage of is they know who Derek Carr is. Derek Carr is not going to be able to surprise them with anything that he's going to be able to do, whether it's with his arm or with his leg. So they've seen Derek Carr, for the past 4 or 5 years. And I just don't feel like they're going to be able to surprise him with anything.
Tonight's game is going to feature a homecoming, so to speak, of former Chiefs players. I got a chance to see and talk to Colin Saunders just a brief moment as they were coming in. I missed Tyrann Mathieu, and I can't remember Willie Gay's actually, because I saw a photo of Willie Gay with his arm in the sling. I don't know if that was just Twitter or what, but I don't know if he's playing in tonight's game. But but those 3, and along with Passano, they're all coming back playing in tonight's game.
Tano's out though.
Tano's out. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but what do you make of the homecoming, so to speak, of these former Chiefs players in tonight's game?
I mean, I'll start with Tyrann. Tyrann was the leader of the ship. He was the one that started the whole championship swagger, championship mentality.
Yeah. He's signing. He and Frank Clark, they're signing.
Yeah, and he started that. He brought that mentality here, that rough guy mentality, so to speak. And I think it kind of boiled over into the past 4 or 5 years, right? And he left that standing here, and Justin Reed, friend of both of ours, friend of the show, man. He even talked about when he came here that he modeled his game a little bit after Tyrann, and just being in Houston, playing alongside of Tyrann, the foundation things and all that. So I think he left a long-lasting impression on not only the football field, but also in the community around, Kansas City. No matter what things may have transpired on Twitter or whatever, that was all within. It was all within reason and all within, I guess, the game of football. But other than that, I mean, he brought the voters registration. He brought a lot of things in and around Kansas City. And then you move on to Willie Gay and also Colin Saunders, two young guys, but they brought a lot of energy to this team. Colin came on as a young dude from St. Louis. I mean, he's a Missouri native, so he knows a lot about, Kansas City. But both of those guys were young, and also Willie Gay brought the energy. He called himself the juice man. He brought the juice to the defense, and I think that's what the defense is missing right now. But both of those guys, I mean, all three of those guys are definitely guys that put a stamp on this organization.
One of the things that I explain to people, when they ask, well, if they're so good, why aren't they still in Kansas City? I said, well,
Money.
Well, yeah, money, and also, look, you have to pick and choose kind of, where you want to spend your money. And the good thing about it is that they at least try to put the players in position to, if you can't get a contract here, at least get some type of big long-term contract. And again, Tyron had already had a nice contract before he came to Kansas City when he was in Houston and some of the other cities. And so when he came, I mean, and look, that's the thing too. Kansas City essentially, they when they sign a player, bring a player, they almost let you play your contract out. I mean, he played his 3 years out. Yeah, I mean, and Tyron came on a big money. I think his was like 3 years, $48 million. So I mean, he got paid a lot of money while he was here. Frank Clark, for the most part as well. I think even MBS, most of his stuff was for his first 2 years, and he got the money. So so the Chiefs take care of the free agents and the players. Granted, it does say a lot where players really do want to stay, which is which is good. The environment, hometown, the atmosphere. So that says something about this. So do you think he harbors any resentment against this team?
No, I don't think so. I think it would be hard to do that, and the reason I say that because they got him a championship.
Yeah.
I mean, if he came here, spent a lot of time here, and didn't get to the Super Bowl and win it, I feel like he would have, hard feelings, but I feel like they did him right. I mean, his family still lives here. He still owns a home here. Kid plays baseball around the city, so I think he still loves Kansas City, man. Kansas City would definitely, and a lot of guys say this is when they come when athletes come and play here, it doesn't even have to be the Chiefs. It could be Royals, Sporting KC, a KC Current, whatever. They stay. Not only because its property value is you get a lot for your money, but also schools and the city treats athletes well.
Yeah. In tonight's game, again, Monday Night Football, kickoff is at 7:20. Steve Walls along with Darren Smith here with the pregame cheat sheet. Steve, let's look at the Chiefs in tonight's matchup. Last week, what's going on, Marcus? So last week, Chiefs, of course, were victorious against the Los Angeles Chargers. Will Fortson get a catch tonight? He's not going to play tonight. Is he?
He's active. Four tight ends are active.
Yeah, I forgot because they did sign him to the front of the
Are you betting? If that's a parlay, I'd add him to my parlay for sure.
I didn't see him on FanDuel, so I'm not.
I would add if he's on there, add him. Think about it.
Casey Wolf. No. I'm talking about Casey Wolf, dude. Because we remember we was in Tampa, and that touchdown. Yeah, that was a lot of money. Anyway, I don't know if he used it for bail or not, but that being the case, man, see, they threw me out talking about the gambling. But when you look at this game, Travis Kelce, we talked about him being the X factor in last week's game. Mm-hmm. With the loss of Rashee Rice, people have got to step up.
Yeah.
Now, we had already expected Kelce to have a decent game against the Chargers, but now that Rasheed's going to be out for an extended period of time because we didn't know that prior to last week's game. Who's that X factor, that player that steps up in this place? Is it a Justin Watson? Is it going to be one of the tight ends, Noah Gray, a Fortson or someone, or will it be more pressure on Xavier Worthy in tonight's game to step up and be able to do more than just run deep?
You still have 5 guys in that room. No, don't get me wrong. Rashee Rice was that deal, and I told him, I was like, "Hey, man, you are a legit number one." Patrick agreed, in the post-game press conference, and he still got Xavier, Juju, Justin, Sky, and McCole. Out of those guys, I would say it has to be Justin Watson. I mean, he's a speedy wide receiver. I mean, he's shown he can go in the middle of the field and catch the football. Xavier Worthy, I still think that he, needs to work on his route running a little bit. But if you want to stretch the field, he's got to show. He showed last year. He put it on last week that he put it on film that he's able to do that. And McCole Hardman, I feel like he's still battling. He's battling a knee issue, so I'm not sure how healthy he is. And Sky.
Player, I think is Juju.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was getting to. Sky Moore,
well, you down the list.
Sky he has to Sky has to catch the football. I mean, there was a crucial third down last week that Patrick. If Patrick goes to you, you got to don't make him look like a fool, or he's not gonna come back to you. And then you got Juju Smith-Schuster. He's a veteran guy, and we've seen what Juju can do, but can he be the Juju of his first season here?
It's funny when you said about Sky. People were really wondering whether or not Harold, because we were all in the press box in L.A. Yeah, when he dropped that pass, you did hear a big thud, and that was Brett Veach. He was not very happy about that drop pass. And it's interesting because if I remember correctly, I think that was really their first, he and McCole, because I had asked earlier in the week, you wasn't there that particular day, but I had asked Matt Nagy, what does Sky Moore and McCole Hardman need to do to get more reps? Because I had looked at the 3 previous games and they hadn't, 0 targets, so they hadn't been in the box. So I'm like, what do they have to do to get more opportunity? And he said that, next man up and all, he gave all the cliches. And then all of a sudden, we get in the game, dropping a third down pass. I'm like, oh, come on, man. I'm out there fighting for you. And this is, I was like, come on, man. And so post game, Matt Nagy look at me. I look at it like, who knew? I was like, I didn't know it was going to happen like that. So, no, but to your point, there's have to catch the ball. You got to take advantage of the opportunities, and because a lot of Chiefs fans really want the team to move on from Sky, and and it's tough because it is a business. And while we do, speak to the players often throughout the week, post game and stuff like that, we, see them in the city, whatever. You still have to come down, but you still got to catch the passes because this is a cutthroat business. And while we're appreciative of what you did 2 Super Bowls ago, that's 2 Super Bowls ago.
And here's the thing about it. People will say, and I saw on Twitter, and you've heard people say, well, does he trust his wide receivers? And I'm like, these are the same guys. If you think of McCole Hardman, you can't say he doesn't trust him because he threw him the Super Bowl winning touchdown pass last year. I mean, at least just a few months ago, right? So there's not going to be any change between then and now. Sky Moore, he went to him on a crucial third down and a key critical point in the game. Justin Watson, he's still throwing passes to him in the middle of the field. And Juju, he threw him in Atlanta. He threw him a touchdown pass. So I think it's just when you have a number one, right? And I used this analogy the other day. It's like, all right, man, you think about when you were in grade school, you had your favorite hoodie or your favorite shirt or shoe that you wanted to wear. You wasn't going to go to school unless you had your favorite shirt or whatever it is you wanted to take. Yeah. So that was just his favorite, and he was going to go to him. And everybody else is kind of, you're going to take the back seat until there is no more, and now you've got to step up and become, a front runner.
In this game, though, how do the Chiefs offensively match up against defense of the Saints? I mean, again, they're led by Cam Jordan, obviously. Remember the preseason game, we talked about it before preseason last year. Colin talked about he knew, he was calling all the plays and knew what they were going to do. Essentially, we'll see whether or not that happens tonight, with Willie Gay out there and Tyron. What do you expect this Chiefs offense how do you expect them to look against the defense, especially when you're down, you're your number one wide receiver, your number one running back. Obviously we haven't talked about Kareem Hunt and what he's going to bring tonight, but how do you see this offense faring against the Saints defense?
You just mentioned Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt is starting tonight.
People.
Yeah, he is starting tonight. I feel like Kareem put something good on. Last week was crucial, man. You talk about the chunk yards Kareem was able to get. I mean, his first touch, he got 9 yards. Yeah. He averaged, I think he was like 13 yards, something like that, where he was able to do some things that P. Ryan and also the rookie wasn't able to do. He brings a different, and I told you even after Pacheco went down, I'm like, there's a difference in style of running between Pacheco and the other two running backs.
Of course.
I'm not sure if Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I know he was sick on Saturday.
He has a
So
21-day ramp up, so he doesn't have to.
so
He's
yeah,
got
so
time to
I'm
come
not
back.
sure if he's going to be, active tonight or not. But Kareem still got it. He can line up on the outside. I know you mentioned it a lot. He can line up as a wide receiver, or he can be in the backfield, kind of similar to Alvin Kamara. Now, two different players, but I feel like he's going to bring a lot where teams can't just sit back and play pass, make you, run the ball. So other than that, I think Travis Kelce has to be Travis Kelce. There is no more of, and here's my thing about him. People are like, oh, he's washed. He's this, he's that. He's an old man.
Washed.
Nah, man. I feel like Travis, he's got his rings, and now he's like, man, I could sit back until.
No, that's not even. That's
No, I can sit back until November, December when you guys really need me.
No, I disagree. That's
You
not his
don't- you
MO.
don't-
No,
Okay.
no,
All
because
right.
he's too much. He's too much of a. I mean,
I know, but he doesn't have to
no,
take
he
the
doesn't.
load like he
no.
had before.
Okay, agree. He doesn't have to take the load, but that's just not his. That's not his mo. If he's out there on the field, he wants to get 7, 8, 9 catches, 113 yards, 1, 2 touchdowns.
But if there's another guy eating,
no,
he's going to take the back seat.
Well, again, if that's what it costs for, again, I don't. If it costs for, but now that like Rashee Rice is out,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
so yeah, but I mean, no, trust me, I saw his face, and I can't remember. I guess it was Atlanta. Having those 4 catches,
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football, and the camera catching him on the side and stuff.
Yeah.
He wanted to do more than just 4 catches.
No,
so,
but they're winning. Here's the thing on top of that. They're winning.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice was eating, and they were rolling. So there's no reason for. And
they
even
really won
Patrick
that
said
game
this.
too.
No, I got it.
Okay.
But even Patrick said this. It's like he doesn't have to be the Travis that he's been before. I don't have to give him 9, 10 targets a game.
If Pacheco, Rice, and Brown were all healthy, I would agree with that.
100%.
Yeah, because you can spread it around. Now, again, we have to have other players. And here's the other thing too. This is something that we haven't talked about because of course it just happened last week, and we didn't talk about it on the Red Hour. But this is really an audition for the other players right now to step up, because do you really want to lose reps by Brett Veach going out and finding another wide receiver to
He's gonna
bring
do that
in?
anyway.
Again, no,
No matter which.
yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm saying, but you hear how Andy always said the press box, it's time for next, because look, last year, I don't care what they say, they didn't make any change. I know they talked about Kadarius Toney, but that was 2 years ago. But no, they didn't make any roster moves for real last year when all these wide receivers were dropping passes left and right, and people were coming close to burning Arrowhead down because they thought these wide receivers were going to help this team lose a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So again, if they somehow have an epiphany and have an offensive explosion tonight, Brett Veach might not pick up that phone this week.
Nah, man, you got to. There's no.
I feel like you got to.
You. I mean, because you've already you're not gonna change who you are. I mean, you can go out there and catch some passes. You can be Sky Moore and have 5 catches, 35 yards.
Why you
tonight.
gotta pick up Sky for?
No, Sky's my dude, man. But you can have what I say, 5 catches, 35 yards tonight, and look like a rock star. Yeah, that was on FanDuel. but you can have that stat line, and they still got to go get a veteran, like somebody that can go get it. Like Sky and McCole and Justin, those guys ain't scaring nobody. These guys gonna line up against you and go at you. Now you could have Tyreek and Sky still, but they'll at least think twice about it.
Okay, so I didn't really want to divert to that part of the conversation. I was going to wait till later, but since we're already talking about the wide receivers and stuff like that, who do you think Brett Veach will go out and try to get? Because obviously, Devontae Adams is probably a pipe dream because the Raiders probably won't trade within the division, and they can make the money work if the Raiders took on most of his salary, and then they would have to restructure, his last 2 years or something like that, restructure a contract. But that being the case, who do you realistically see Kansas City possibly going after?
Let me ask you this before I answer. The Raiders call you and say, and I'll ask you guys watching us right now, and you can say yay or nay. The Raiders call you and say, hey, we're all going to play, GM right now. The Raiders call you and say, hey, Darren, you got that first round coming up this season
Uh-huh.
or next season.
Oh, this season, yeah.
Yeah, first rounder. Let me get that, and let me get
Sky Moore.
Sky Moore. Or somebody else. No matter, we just throw a player out there, whoever, X player, and a third round. Would you entertain it
I would give no. I would give you.
and some money
Well, no,
for
no,
Devontae
no, no,
Adams?
no, no, no. I would. Well, I would not give them. They would have to. They
Yeah.
would have to offer to pay most of the
Let's just
salary.
do first round. First round. Just throw first round out there.
Yeah. No,
Would you give up first
I
round
would
for
give
him?
up. I would give up next year's first round because it's going to be 32.
Yeah.
You know, but so no, but I would give. I would give up because they want a second round, but of course the Chiefs would be. So I give them a first round. I give them a first, and I give them a. I would give them. One of my compensation picks, which would probably 56, whatever,
Yeah.
and I give them Sky Moore and who else?
McCall.
No. Can't give up McCall. Who we got, man?
Let's just for
I give
for
up Sky Moore.
for let's just say they ask you, okay, they want
Hold on, I would give him Sky Moore, and I give him one of these defensive backs. We got enough of them. I would give up Chris Roland Wallace.
let's say they want a first round in Kingsley.
Kingsley.
Yep. Your left tackle.
Yeah, hell yeah, he gone. He gone. Bye.
And I get it.
Bye.
I get it. The Raiders won't trade, but look, if they want picks, because if they're giving up their star player who's unhappy, that means they've kind of said to
The
themselves.
longer they wait, the less value that they're able to get for it.
Yeah, they kind of said to themselves, all right, this year isn't our year. Let's get what we can get for them, and kind of see whatever we can do this year, whatever. But we're gonna get kind of rebuild.
But
And they said the Raiders. I read something earlier where they said it's a 48-hour window that they're willing to deal them.
yeah, realistically, I could see the Chiefs, depending on again how tonight plays out. I could see them realistically, if trying to get a receiver in the mold of Rasheed Rice. I would either go after a veteran such as Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper is a real good deal because
30 years old though.
no, man. First of all, you got to understand. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, the Mike Evans. I mean, they're all at age.
I know.
So, but what I'm saying is that for him, for Cooper, there was a situation where Cleveland was looking to trade him to San Francisco for Brandon Ayuk. And and they say, well, look, he has not been playing well this season. I grant that, but it also be a situation where when your name was in the trade talks, you kind of don't want to be there no more.
Yeah.
So literally, like when he got traded from the Raiders to the Cowboys, he played refresh renewed. Again, anybody gets traded to Kansas City to play with Mahomes, if he's Amari Cooper will come out and ball. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
You cannot not ball. So
I mean, you can look at who they got right now.
Who?
What you mean? I mean, you can go out there and drop passes. We've
Well, they
seen
got
it.
drafted. That's not different. Yeah, I mean, that's different. I'm talking about a veteran coming in like that. So I can see that. Maybe I wouldn't want Deontay Johnson. I know talks about that, but I would say Amari Cooper. I guess DeAndre Hopkins because they're in the last year of their deal, so you just be renting to be like them on a per week basis. So affordability wise, it makes sense to go after either one of those two.
I've seen a three-way deal happening where the Raiders, send D-Hop to the Jets. The Jets.
You mean Devontae?
Devontae, sorry, not D-Hop. Devontae Adams to the Jets. The Jets are like, if we get him, we'll give up Mike Williams possibly to. I've seen seen some talk about that
not to
the Chiefs. Yeah, would you take Mike? Would you take Mike Williams?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't want somebody who's damaged goods. Trash.
I mean, one more man's trash.
Yeah, but that's different.
And here's the thing about it.
He played with the Chargers. I mean, he didn't do nothing against.
Here's the thing about it. We see these guys on different teams, and it may be unhappy, but it's always situational, because
That's
the
important.
Chiefs have brought out a lot of talent from guys that have been with teams. It's like, and you look like where is this coming from?
Well,
So
no. To your point, I was gonna transition over because I want to ask you what you expect to see from Kareem Hunt in his Arrowhead re-debut tonight. Because one of the things that I had mentioned before, when he was in Cleveland, there were reporters, people that I know that said that he was on his third wheel. I'm like, no, it just, no,
nah,
it just, you
nah.
had a two-time coach of the year who didn't know how to utilize his talent because if I'm Kevin Stefanski, I'm putting him on the field along with Nick Chubb.
You have to.
That's all day. But since you're not going to do it, you're saving him. He comes back to Kansas City. And like I told the New Orleans Saints radio network today, you know, there's a certain je ne sais quoi when it comes to Kareem
Say that one more
Hunt.
time.
Je ne sais quoi.
Uh,
So, you know what I'm saying? When he gets out there, for real, when he gets out there on that field, he gets that first handoff and he hears that roar from the crowd once again.
oh, yeah.
Dude, I mean, just like in Los Angeles, he plays differently because he's playing with the renewed spirit, being back in Kansas City, and I think it's going to pay dividends for you. So I want to know your opinion. How do you see Kareem Hunt transitioning back here in a starting lineup now? So he's going to be asked to do a little bit more reps, in the passing game
Yeah.
along with running the football.
I think Kareem Hunt feels like he has unfinished business here in Kansas City.
Very
We
much so.
we saw what happened with everything. We don't have to rehash it, but we saw what happened, everything that went down, which reason why the Chiefs released him. And he went on to another team for a few years, and he saw that the grass wasn't greener, and he was really on his way out of the league.
But he
right?
was out of the league.
Yeah, he's out of the league, and now when sometimes when guys that happens with any athlete and in the team that you've been at, they want you back. It's like, all right,
and
man, I'm about to try to put
being back.
yeah, I'm about to go out here and I'm gonna show y'all, man. I still got it because I don't know if he has anything to prove to himself, but it's most definitely has something to prove to fans and teams that the Cleveland Browns.
Defensively for Kansas City tonight. Chris Jones again. We'll talk.
I agree,
Talk,
Mark.
talk about it. What's that? Oh, yeah. What's it going to be? How does this defense, Spags defense, who have just been sensational in these first 4 games of the season, how do they stack up against this offense that is high-powered when, if defenses are careful, how do they stack up against the Saints offense?
Man, we've seen this Chiefs defense. Let me put it to you this way: Spags plays the filler role, right? He'll fill you out first drive and then kind of mold his.
Yeah, but you know what happened.
Yeah,
We down 7-0.
and mold his.
Phil had a little bit sooner than that.
It's kind of like they mold how they're going to play to their opponent, right? No matter up, down, whatever. But then they'll shut you down to where you don't get it. At least that's what we've seen the first 4 games.
It's interesting you said that because I remember we were in L.A. when Chiefs were down 10-0, and I was like, something like, man, it's about to be ugly. We lose Rice, and then you realize that they can score the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Which is again a testament. And I remember talking to Spags in the locker room post game. One of the things he said that has been impressive for him is their goal line defense. I mean, teams are gonna do what they're gonna do in between the 20s. But he told me, he's like, Darren, he said they're just impressing me. With how they're able to keep these teams out of the end zone. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, impressive.
Especially when you look at Atlanta, they got 4 tries at it down there.
Oh, gosh.
They did, man. And
The Chargers too.
Yeah.
The Chargers were down there. They were down there a few times, and then but then, Chris Jones getting after Herbert and sacking him. I mean, just they are. It's funny timing wise. They just seem to they seem to come up with big plays at the most important times.
And that's the thing, Corey. We talked about Spags. He said, "We'd like to see Spags rattle Carr early instead of holding back." That's the thing. They know when we talked about it earlier in the show. They know
too much right away.
They know Carr. And Spags knows Carr. They were in division when he was with the Raiders.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they know what he can do, and they know his tendencies and what he likes to do.
Well, I was told that the New Orleans Saints offensive line is like decimated, so to speak.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They're like rattled with injury. So we'll see. Whether they can take advantage. I mean, look, we kind of thought the same thing in Atlanta because Kirk Cousins is not someone that's mobile.
Carr can run though.
Yeah. Again. So yeah. So
but they're without Taysom Hill.
Yeah. So it's going to be very important especially if that offensive line is as bad as I've been told, that they get the pressure on them, keep him in, but you want to keep him inside the pocket too,
Yeah, of
you
course.
know, and but I did say if that's able to happen, then I expect big things from Chris Jones and Carl off the
But
sling.
here's the thing too is they've got to create some turnovers. I like to see,
Yeah,
some turnovers. Now it's one thing shutting the team down, but I want to see them, create some turnovers. Now I don't know where they are as far as in the league, numbers wise on creating turnovers, but I like to see them, get their hands on the ball.
yeah, it'd be interesting to say the least. Uh, Again, Darren Smith, Steve Walls. We're here with the pregame cheat sheet. Kickoff is about a half hour away, Steve. Kansas City Chiefs hosting the New Orleans Saints. The betting line is -5.5. So someone asked me earlier. So,
So what's that
uh,
mean for a betting person that doesn't know anything about betting?
it means that the Chiefs are favored to win by at least 6 points.
Okay.
The Chiefs are giving Chiefs are basically winning 6-0 right now. They have to hold on to that
Okay.
if you want to win money. Now, what I always tell people, and I learned this a long time ago, never bet the Chiefs with the point spread. Always either bet money line or give the Chiefs plus points. So
Did you learn by experience?
very much so,
Okay. I just didn't know if it
very
was
much
word on the
so.
street or if you learned by
Very
experience.
much so. No, very
Oh,
much
okay.
so.
All
No.
right. Just checking. Just want to know.
Like even in tonight's game, I got the Chiefs. No, I got no. Actually, I got the Chiefs money line. I got the Saints +10. And that's funny. Chiefs don't blow nobody out, but I'm covering myself. So I do expect them to win because I started to give Chiefs plus points, but I was like, nah, they'll win. I
Okay.
have that much faith on them
Okay.
money now. If they don't, then
Okay.
whew. But that being the case, we look at tonight's matchup. No, special team wise. What have you seen from Harrison Bucker and our punt guy Matt Ariza so far?
I mean, they really haven't had to do much. I mean, I look at teams around the league and where they have
Well,
had
I
to.
was kind of shocked that he missed that. He missed an extra point a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, it was
not
different.
something that lingers. Yeah, I don't see them having any issues, man. I look around the league and I've seen teams win by what was it, 18 to they had to get 7 field goals. I don't remember who that was, but
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh, yeah,
Pittsburgh over Atlanta. They,
yeah,
they kicked
they
six
won
field
by
goals.
kicking 6 field goals. That's right.
Chiefs fans know all about that. Too well in the playoffs.
So I think special teams are gonna be fine. If we see Matt Ariza, we know something's going wrong because he's out there punting the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, but he's been well though with doing it because
Yeah.
he's given the Chiefs defense great field position with how he's punting the football. X factor for you in tonight's game offensively for the Chiefs.
Man, don't turn the ball over. We've seen that. We've seen that with
So
Patrick.
is that Patrick?
Yeah, we've seen that with turning the ball over. I think Patrick Mahomes tonight has to go out there and be Patrick Mahomes. He really does.
It's funny you say that because again, when I was on the radio this afternoon, they asked me why haven't the Chiefs really, why are the games like nail biters or whatever, and I was like, literally because Mahomes hasn't been playing like Mahomes. 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Five interceptions. I'm like,
Almost 1-to-1 ratio.
yeah.
Every time I score a touchdown, I'm throwing an interception right after.
and literally,
Yeah.
I've told myself, man, he can't keep turning the ball over,
Yeah.
and putting the team in inopportune situations. So, no, I'm with you on that.
But it's funny you say that. Patrick's still leading the MVP race. So if you're on BetMGM, you can still get Patrick for plus money, plus 260. So I mean, no matter what you say, folks still in Vegas they don't lie. So whatever we're seeing, Vegas sees something totally different to where he's still
It
leading
might
the
be
pack.
different tomorrow because Lamar Jackson was out there balling.
Oh yeah, almost 400 yards. I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, these eyes see. But no, I think Patrick has to go out there and be
So
Patrick
that's your X
Mahomes.
factor for tonight.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is my X factor for tonight because he has to go out there and play well.
And on the defensive side,
Especially on Monday Night Football, where the world is watching, you got to go out there and do something special.
I mean, the world was kind of watching in Atlanta for Sunday Night Football too.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But granted, there were other games throughout the day. Today you're singular. There's no, so everybody's really watching.
And real quick, speaking of everybody's watching, shout out to the Royals. Because they're
I
on right
was
now.
gonna get to that.
And y'all are still watching us, so we really appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
What's the score?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Thought they were.
I don't think the Royals game isn't on right now. So yeah, if somebody put the Royals score in the chat for us, because we're talking to you guys. So we appreciate appreciate you rocking with us
I'm check it out right now.
on a Monday Night Football. But yeah, Patrick was my X factor now on the defensive side. Whew, I'm going to go with the linebackers. I really am. I
You
really
really be
wanted to
like
do.
to take the whole group instead of an individual player.
No, no,
Okay.
no. I kind of wanted Trent McDuffie because I think I want to see that matchup with Trent and Chris Olave, but I think I'm gonna go
Zero
with
zero.
I'm gonna go with the linebackers. I want to see how they match up with Alvin Kamara coming out of the backfield. I think that's going to be
So you're gonna be
crucial.
more. You think it's more pressure on like a Drew or someone
I think it's
because
more
of
pressure on Drew and Nick.
and Leo.
Yeah, and Leo. I think
Okay.
I want to see how they read and react to Alvin Kamara.
All right. So offensively, I'm going to go my X factor. Man, I gotta go with the wide receivers, dude. I gotta see who steps up in place of.
Mm.
Oh Lord, it ain't threw me off. I gotta see who steps up in place of Rice in tonight's game. I mean, Travis is gonna be Travis. He's Travis over here, and I believe Kareem Hunt is gonna. I think he's gonna have a hell of a game. I pray he does at least anyway. But I guess who steps up because again, until Brett Veach makes that move, we got to see who's going to fill that void. Again, will it be a Watson? Will it be look? I think it should be Juju one because Juju was a guy 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He knows the offense, and now it's time, saying for you to, pay some dividends. So that's for me. I guess I would say Juju, but more so the wide receivers because
Okay.
we need to see who steps up because otherwise it's going to be a lot of dumps, saying to the tight ends and Kareem,
Okay.
and it'll make it more predictable for the Saints defense to guard against the Chiefs offensively, especially if none of the wide receivers step up.
All right. Who we got on defense?
Ooh.
Linebackers already taken. So pick somebody else.
Honestly, as I said earlier, I think the front four. You've got to be able to put pressure on Derek Carr. Look, he is prone to throw interceptions, and he's prone to turn the football over.
So
So,
does Trent McDuffie get his first interception tonight?
nah.
No, I think so.
Well, no, I mean, I'd like to, but if they don't throw his direction, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
And then that's what to do. Who's he match up against? Is
Chris
he gonna,
Olave, I would if I'm Spags.
okay, but but Rashid, he's pretty good. Who's the?
He is.
What's his difference? Yeah, Rashid Shaheed. Yeah, he's pretty good too.
He
So,
is.
yeah. So that's what I got.
Okay.
Again, for me, it's got to be that front four because you've got to be able to get pressure on Carr, force him to make those mistakes. You should have a good opportunity to get a lot of sacks and pressure against this guy.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me.
All right. So before we get out of here, Steve, your prediction for tonight's game? I know what he said on the red eye. So let's see if he said 10 toes down because all the stuff that you said, Steve. Share with the fans who you picking tonight's game.
Well, if you guys did the Red Hour Monday night, and you can catch 30 to 7:30 p.m. Right, you can catch us wherever you're watching us from right now. But last week I said the Chiefs were gonna lose. I did that. Now don't. my ad is at Steve Ross KC. Don't add me. Follow me. Don't add me about this. But yeah, I just feel like.
Steve, hold on. It's okay if you have a change of heart now. I'm gonna allow you some grace tonight.
Nah, I'm rocking with it, man. I just think here's the thing. As much as I don't want to say this, sometimes you gotta land on your own sword, if that makes sense. Sometimes because
Follow your sword.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because here's the thing. The Chiefs have won a lot of close games, some games that they should not have won,
Yeah, we
going
talked about
back into last season,
Yeah.
right? And as much as I feel like this team is going to be focused tonight because it's going into a bye week,
We just don't want the devil too much,
and so forth, I think sometimes it just comes back to bite you, man. And as much as I don't want to see it happen at Arrowhead, and I'm hoping I'm eating my words, but I just think they'll lose a close game tonight.
At Steve Walls KC. Now,
y'all ain't never heard me say nothing like that.
Me on the other hand, now mind
Yeah.
you, now saying now it's funny. Now, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. One of the reasons why Steve is going for the Saints side because
I ain't going for the Saints. I just calling it what I
okay,
see.
okay. Well, the reason why he's picking the Saints because he knows I'll call to the car because every year when they try to say, "Oh, Darren picks the Chiefs go undefeated," every year they pick the Chiefs to win every game, but they don't. But they don't want to say that they go lose again. But they don't want to say they're gonna go undefeated. So
Sometimes it's week to week though.
it's always week to week, Steve. It's a week to
Yeah,
week league.
yeah.
But at least I stand 10 toes down. However, in tonight's game, I do have the Chiefs winning again. Well, here's the thing. Biggest thing that the Chiefs need to do coming out of tonight's game is come out try to be injury free. That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
To go to the bye. And here's the thing, you don't want to go to the bye week on a loss.
Yeah.
And they are known for if they can win this game, obviously they'll have the entire week off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, and come back. Sunday, Monday, whatever. You know what I'm saying, to get ready for the following week
San
against
Francisco.
San Francisco. So I think it's a close game because they don't blow teams out. They haven't done it since the Bears and the Chargers last year, early in the season. So I like the Chiefs to win this game. They haven't given up defensively more than 22 points since the Super Bowl, I think, last year against the Eagles. So I'm going to go the Chiefs 27, Saints 20.
Hmm.
I think they, again, I think the Saints take an early lead just because that's just how it just seems to work out for the Chiefs. But the Chiefs, they'll find a way to, tie the game, and then they'll do one of those little halftime stuff where they score at the end of the half, and then if they get, if they obviously with the coin toss come out and try to score on the other half of the break to try to build a little 14-point lead. They'll come back and score a touchdown. Chiefs will score another touchdown, then they'll kind of hold them, to maybe a couple of field goals or whatever to end the game. So I like the Chiefs win this game 27-20.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I know. And that is at Darren Smith NFL. So if you think the Saints are going to win, at Steve Walls KC. But before we get out of here, Steve, you want to thank your sponsors for tonight?
Just appreciate Dillard's always looking out for me. Catch them Dillard's on the road, so go check them out. If you got kids that need, homecoming is upon us.
Oh,
So if they need something for homecoming, or if you yourself need something before you're getting ready to go out on the town or go to work or whatever whatever your game day may be, go check them out, man or women.
And as always, I'd like to thank Todd White and Past Clothiers and Taylor Suits for keeping me stylish for tonight's Monday night game. It's funny, I saw Ryan Clark when I was down the tunnel. He was like, "What's up, big boy?" I said, "Oh, you got the t-shirt on." I said, "I had to come clean." "Yeah, man, you clean too." It's like, "All right, you know how we do." He said, "All right," and then Swagoo, he's just big, so have you ever met Jason Kelsey?
Yes.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know he's been like, "Oh, you football." I know he's a center, but centers are normally tall.
Yeah.
So, I was like, the large human being, So, yeah. But that being the case, so I want to thank them. And want to remind you, our post game is going to be late tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it's not going to be as late as Dallas and Pittsburgh last night because of the rainstorm. But follow Steve and I will bring you the post-game press conference with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and we'll also bring you our post-game show on the field after tonight's game. So for Steve Walls, I'm Darren Smith. We will be back in 2 weeks in Santa Clara, as the Chiefs take on the 49ers. But join us post-game tonight after the game. So Steve Walls at Steve Walls KC, I'm Darren Smith at Darren Smith NFL. Thank you so much for joining us for the pregame cheat sheet. We'll see you post-game. Go Chiefs.